Batman the Animated Series was a kids' show. There, I said it. It was a show for children. But just because it was a show for children, that doesn't mean that they didn't push the boundaries, and there were several episodes that contained some truly frightening scenes. Here are my picks for the most frightening scenes of the original Batman the Animated Series run.
Number 7.
Killer Croc's debut in Vendetta. Killer Croc's introduction to Batman the Animated Series is a masterclass in building tension and menace. For the majority of the episode, Croc is barely seen. We catch small glimpses of him here and there, and we see his eyes glowing in the darkness when he's impersonating Bullock. But what really makes Croc feel so threatening and menacing is the way other characters react to him. Spider Conway and Joey the Snail are absolutely terrified of him. It's made worse for us, the audience, because we can't see him, so we can only imagine what kind of a monstrosity he is. When we do finally see him in his scaly glory, he is a monstrous, hulking beast of a man, and you can really see why they were so afraid of him.
But I guess you've learned that by now, huh? The hard way.
Number 6.
House and Garden, Poison Ivy's plant babies. This is another good example of the creators of the show building up tension and fear by not showing us the monster. For the majority of the episode, the antagonist is shrouded in shadow. All we know is that they're big, strong, and have sharp claws. Although, when Batman does eventually come face to face with the monster, the impact is slightly lessened by their, frankly, derpy face. There's also the fact that he's voiced by Jim Cummings, the voice of Tigger from Winnie the Pooh.
Time to hit the drink.
And it certainly stopped me from taking him seriously. However, the horror was not ended with that stupid face. No, when Batman and Robin learn the secret of the monster, that he is a plant baby clone made by Poison Ivy.
Mommy.
No. It isn't possible.
The scene where Batman and Robin uncover the latest batch of plant baby clones is really quite unsettling.
You haven't changed a bit.
Yes, I have. I meant it when I said I wanted a family that loves me. I just wanted it on my terms.
Number 5.
Mudslide, when Clayface smothers Batman. This won't be the first time that Clayface appears on this list. What can I say? Body horror really freaks me out. But in this instance, it's all about the imagery. Batman has foiled Clayface's attempt to stabilize and improve his powers, and Clayface responds by dragging Batman into his clay flesh and smothering him. This scene is really dark, both visually and thematically, and it's really disturbing to see Batman desperately thrashing to try and escape while a storm kicks off in the background. I think it's made worse by just how calm and happy Clayface is to be murdering somebody.
I can feel his heart slowing.
This scene is just really gross and frankly horrifying.
Number 4.
Avatar. Thoth Caphera consumes Ra's al Ghul. In a nod to classic adventure films, Avatar has Batman teaming up with Talia al Ghul to stop Ra's al Ghul from gaining ultimate knowledge over life and death by uncovering an ancient Egyptian tomb of Queen Thoth Caphera.
Through her flowed the power of the gods. With no more than a gesture, she controlled the force of life and death, and with it she kept a nation under her thumb for 1,000 years.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like your typical Batman the Animated Series episode, and it's not. Initially, they thought that the knowledge was contained within scrolls in the tomb. However, they soon discover that the ancient queen is still alive and is more than willing to share her knowledge by absorbing Ra's al Ghul's life force. BTAS generally stayed away from the supernatural, but this is a rare example of them going outside of their usual playhouse to offer something truly horrific. And in a nod to British Hammer horror movies, the hideous monster is a sexy lady in skimpy clothes. Yeah, it was a different time.
Number 3.
Dreams in darkness, Batman's nightmares. Batman has been exposed to a new strain of the Scarecrow's fear toxin, but the cure will take him out of action for 2 days, and he hasn't yet foiled the Scarecrow's plot to poison Gotham's water supply. On his way to Arkham Asylum, Batman has an episode and crashes the Batmobile. In his delirious state, the Arkham staff think he's gone mad and bring him in for evaluation. While locked up in his cell, Batman has a series of hallucinations, the first giving us a glimpse at the death of his parents as a tunnel in Gotham City itself becomes the gun that murders his parents. Now there's a metaphor. And the second involves a rat transforming into some of his fiercest villains. These transformations are really, really gross. But the thing that makes this scene so frightening is Kevin Conroy's performance as Batman. You can really feel Batman's terror, even though he knows it's not real.
The great Batman, scared out of his mind. How does it feel?
Number 2.
On Leather Wings, Man-Bat's transformation. Body horror and weird science gone wrong. That really sums up Man-Bat. This scene from the end of On Leather Wings is really dark, both visually and thematically. Batman heads to Gotham Zoo to confront the man he believes to be Man-Bat, only to discover the true identity of the Man-Bat, Dr. Kirk Langstrom. Hearing Langstrom talk about his addiction as if it was another entity is unpleasant.
Francine and Marge tried to protect me, but it was too late. The beast knew what chemicals were needed to bring itself about. It was out of my control.
But it's the pure glee on Langstrom's face as he gives in to the transformation and lets the beast out that makes this scene so unsettling. The animation on his transformation is really great. Some of it is almost happening in slow motion so that we, the audience, can drink in how abhorrent he really is. And the sounds he makes as he changes, oh god, it's horrifying. Couple this with the dramatic music of Shirley Walker. Oh, such an intense scene.
Number 1.
Feet of Clay Part 1 and the origin of Clayface. If you've watched my other videos, then this probably won't come as much of a surprise, but I think the most horrific thing to happen in Batman the Animated Series is the creation of Clayface. After botching an assassination attempt on Lucius Fox, disfigured actor Matt Hagen attempts to steal a drug from Roland Daggett that would allow him to mould his face temporarily. Unfortunately, Daggett's men anticipated Hagen's arrival and catch him red-handed. They were told to kill Hagen, but instead Daggett's henchmen decide to assert their power over him by pinning him to the ground and sadistically pouring the chemical down his throat. The fact that this vile act is only seen in silhouette means our imaginations fill in the blank. And you couple this with Ron Perlman's pleas for mercy and the gurgling sounds, and it's truly gut-wrenching. This is made all the worse as we witness the aftermath where Hagen literally melts away, leaving behind Clayface. And I will never forget the final shot of this episode where, upon seeing his new form reflected in the car's rearview mirror, Clayface screams. And that's my list. Did I miss any scenes that you think were scarier? Were you as deeply traumatized by any of these episodes as I was? Or am I just a big baby? Share your views in the comments below. You know how YouTube works.